Easter is coming, and if you haven't planned for it or you haven't been thinking about it, you're kind of a little bit too late. But don't worry, that's why I'm making this video, because I can help jumpstart you to plan and get ready for Easter. Easter is kind of like our Super Bowl Sunday for churches. It's usually the largest service. It's usually the service that the most amount of visitors come out to the church. By the way, Super Bowl just happened. Seahawks won. I'm from Seattle, so it was kind of a win-win for me because I know LA and Seattle were fighting for the Super Bowl. So either team that won, it was a win. And then Seattle won, they won. It was good. Anyways, did you know that more people visit the church on Easter than Christmas? I think it's because Christmas time is kind of filled with a lot of family traditions, a lot of vacations, and Christmas is a little bit more of a festive holiday. And so you're kind of competing against a lot of things. However, Easter, sometimes people like to think about the church more and they like to visit the church. And so be prepared for visitors to come out. And if you're thinking about church growth, this is a great time, probably one of the best Sundays to prepare for in terms of visitors, having more visitors come out to your church. Usually Easter planning starts in January, and I know we're already in February. So if you're a little late or if you haven't thought about it, watch these next couple of videos because I'm going to give you ideas on how to prepare for Easter and how to prepare for all these visitors. Visitors come out to the church. We usually call them CEO Christians. That means Christmas, Easter only. And these are people who believe in Jesus, believe in the gospel, but they just go to church only for Christmas and Easter. So again, another great reason to be thinking about, hey, how do we get these guys to keep on coming back to the church and not just come out 2 or 3 times a year? Easter is also a time of the year when people might be looking for hope, especially for those who have been de-churched. Those are people who used to go to church and they're not going to church anymore. And so again, Easter is kind of that time, just mentally, psychologically, they're kind of thinking about, hey, maybe this is a good time to come back to church, or maybe this is a good time for me to check out a church because I'm looking for hope. And again, it's easier for visitors to come to Easter because usually Easter is a large service. And, when you come out to a church for the first time, you don't really want to be noticed. You kind of want to just come in and do your own thing and you get lost in the crowd. So people maybe want to come out to Easter services because of the larger attendance. And maybe for some of them who have young families, they're coming out because there's more fun things to do for the kids. Easter egg hunt, or there might be a meal, or there's going to be a candy bar. Again, every church is a little bit different. But another reason why visitors might be coming, younger families thinking about their kids, Easter service might be a great time to check out church. There's a couple of other reasons why visitors might be coming to your church. They might be looking to be part of something. Maybe they're struggling through life. They're kind of looking for some help. They really want to be part of a community. Maybe some people are just looking for connection to people. They're lonely. They're lost. They really want to share life with others. Maybe join a small group or a men's group or a women's group. And then, of course, there are those who are looking for Jesus. They're looking for answers. They're looking for something that maybe can help them with their confusion when it comes to the gospel. And these could be people from all over. They used to go to church as a kid, or maybe they used to go to church, stopped going because they started questioning things about the Bible. There's a lot of these people coming out, so let's get ready for them. So in this video, I'm going to share with you one idea, and these next couple of videos, I'm going to share more ideas on how to prepare for all these visitors that might be coming to check out your church, and of course, how to get them to come back so that your church can grow. Okay, so first idea, visitors are coming out. How are you going to capture information about these visitors? How are you going to kind of communicate with them again? How are you going to follow up with them? What do you have in place? Do you have anything in place right now to give to a first-time visitor, or do you have anything in place right now to connect to a first-time visitor so that you can follow up with them? One of the easiest things you could do is just set up a QR code. You could just use a Google form. You don't have to spend money on this. All this stuff is for free. Just go online, get a QR code generator that links to a Google form, and have them fill out some basic information. Or if you have the budget, maybe you do have a visitor's card. Give them that visitor's card, have them fill it out, name, phone number, email address. You don't have to make it really detailed. I don't think you really need to know their home address, things like that. But make sure the form is not too long. Don't be asking them for their testimony or like what church they came from or, what vacation they went to last year. Make it very, very simple. If you have a long form to fill out, that is just it's not fun. No one wants to fill out a bunch of information. I would have just very, very basic things. And again, this is not to spam them. Please don't take this information and start emailing them every day or even once a week. Here's a side note, you gotta be really careful with that because churches get in a lot of trouble if you start spamming people and then something happens with like Google or email and churches get in trouble. I don't really know all the details about that. Look it up, but don't spam visitors. Something really cool you could do with the visitors of why they would fill something out is maybe if you do have the budget, you fill out the visitor's card or the new visitor's card, the QR code, and maybe you could give something. Hey, fill this out. You can get like a free mug. Maybe you have food at your church on Easter Sunday, so they get a free meal ticket. Or maybe you have other things you can give out. Again, this all depends on your budget, so don't break the bank. You don't have to do a mug or a tumbler because every church does tumblers, all right? And it's a little bit costly. So be creative. You don't have to do something really, really nice. You don't have to give them gift cards, but that's an idea to fill it out and then you get something for free. Here's a really, really good idea to do though. You have the visitor fill it out to get something to redeem for the next Sunday. So again, here's church strategy. How do you get them to come back? Fill out the new visitor's card and maybe they do get some sort of meal ticket, but the free meal is for next Sunday. So yeah, you might have food or you might have something on Easter Sunday, but maybe you have like a new visitor's lunch the following Sunday, or maybe you have some sort of meal for the church the following Sunday, but that visitor has like a free meal ticket. Maybe it's like a front of the line fast pass. They can go right to the front of the line because they are a new visitor. Again, be creative. Think of reasons for them to come back the next Sunday. So fill it out. Maybe they come back the next Sunday for a meal. Maybe you do some sort of ice cream social. Maybe you give out a free book to fill out the visitor's card. Maybe you guys got like free books at your church. Again, I know that's kind of crazy because not all churches have the budget to do that. But this is where you really need to know your people and your city and your culture. Every state, every city is a little bit different. So what do you think would draw them back to your church the following Sunday? Or what would they enjoy to get for a free visitor's card? Be creative. But the main point here is to get that information because you do want to follow up with them just once. Again, don't spam them. Just send like a thank you email, maybe a thank you phone call. The phone call I know is really, really hard, but you know what? Sometimes people really enjoy being reached out to personally, but I know most people here don't want to be bothered like that. Maybe it's a thank you text. Just one time, follow up with these visitors, get their information. It'll be a great way to connect with them beyond the Easter Sunday so they come back. So work on that, get going on that, and watch the next video. I'll share another idea with you.